breakthrough discovery, and probably one of the biggest in the last few hundred years, may finally put to rest the question of whether mermaids really exist.
From killer clowns lurking in the cornfield, to mysterious blood rivers and gigantic structures in the middle of nowhere, drones capture some of the most disturbing things not meant to be seen by the human eye. Join us as we review some of the rarest and creepiest footage caught by drones, starting with this bizarre structure in the middle of nowhere. Mysterious geometric shapes. This strange aerial footage captured in a wheat field in Bavaria, Germany showcases a captivating geometric design engraved into the crops. The video surfaced on the internet back in 2014. However, the identity of the artist behind such an elaborate design remains a mystery. On one hand, there are wild speculations about the involvement of extraterrestrial beings, with many claiming that this was how aliens marked their territory, while on the other hand, others have argued that it was most likely made by a human. Several aerial footage like this have also been captured elsewhere around the world, like in Dorset, England, where nobody has still figured out who built such a magnificent artwork and how it was swiftly done without drawing attention. Man chased by a bear. While exploring a snowy forest in Moscow, Russia, this drone operator captured a sight no one could have seen coming. After initially scanning the surrounding landscape and taking in the beautiful scenery, the drone dives into the sparse forest before sighting a man who appears to be running for his life. Behind this man was a bear, charging at full speed, and as the drone whizzed by, the bear appeared to be momentarily distracted before resuming its chase. Luckily for the man, the bear wasn't able to catch up and attack, at least until the end of the video. Shark Fest. A group of tourists were cruising through the pristine waters of Shark Bay in Western Australia when they came across this chilling sight of about 70 tiger sharks in a feeding frenzy. The drone footage captured by the cruise agency Eco Abrolhos recorded this stunning footage as the sharks ripped a dead giant humpback whale to shreds, leaving a trail of crimson red in the water. It's unclear whether the whale was killed by the sharks or it died of natural causes, but either way, it instantly became mincemeat to the hungry sharks lurking beneath the waters. The aptly named Shark Bay is home to a wide range of exotic marine animals, including whales, dolphins, turtles, and of course, several shark species, and has been designated a World Heritage Site due to its ecological importance. Although feeding frenzies like these aren't that uncommon, this remains one of the few times it has ever been caught on camera. Dead whale on the beach. Speaking of whales, this breathtaking footage recorded at the Hartland Quay in rural North Devon showcases the sheer size of a dead baleen whale washed up on the rock. This gigantic carcass is believed to be over 30 feet long, and according to cetacean expert Rob Devil, it appears to have been dead for some time before the discovery. Thanks to this captivating footage, scientists were able to catch a glimpse of this rare species. Although people were advised against flocking to the place to see for themselves due to safety reasons, the whale is believed to have died at sea and washed ashore. Although just like most other whale deaths, the cause remains an unsolved mystery. 6-year-old boy lost in a cornfield. On October 15, 2019, a 6-year-old boy identified as Ethan House walked his dog into the woods behind his home in central Minnesota, and 4 hours later, he was declared missing. As the day grew darker, the police reached out to anyone and everyone in the community willing to help in the search on social media. A 52-year-old commercial drone operator named Steve Fine saw the Twitter post, quickly packed up his equipment, and headed out to lend a helping hand. After fitting the drone with a thermal camera, Fines flew into the cornfield where the boy got lost. He finally noticed something unusual on his monitor at around 1 a.m. in the midnight. Thanks to this view from the sky, Ethan was eventually found about 1.5 miles from his home, and although he was absolutely terrified, he was found safe and unhurt.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for finding me.
Mid-air heist. Explorer Adam Culbertson was flying his DJI Avatar drone near Torrey, Utah on October 6, 2023, when he recorded an unusual encounter with nature. The video starts off with stunning shots of the rock formations below him. However, seconds later, an eagle swoops in and snatches the drone right out of the sky, before taking it for a joyride around the landscape. While the eagle was most certainly disappointed that its catch wasn't the juicy prey it expected, the entire experience created this remarkable unplanned footage that'd definitely be hard to replicate. Surprisingly, the drone company would later classify the case as a flyaway incident and provide the explorer with a new free replacement. River of blood. In January 2012, a Texas drone enthusiast was testing out his new amateur airborne camera when he discovered a blood creek running through the Dallas suburbs. Stunned by the haunting sight, the unidentified man filed a report with the proper authorities, and since the bloodied water was flowing into the Trinity River, one of Dallas's most famous water bodies, it became a major source of concern. The creek, located behind a meatpacking plant, was later found to contain pig blood, and although many were thankful it wasn't human, it still remained a major environmental concern. The plant operator would later come out to reveal that the spill was caused by a clogged sewer pipe, causing the overflowing blood to spill away from its regular channel, and creating this macabre spectacle. Shark attack. Every year, an average of 80 unprovoked shark attacks are reported around the world, with only a small percentage caught on camera. However, while fishing on a small boat off the coast of Coffin Bay, west of Adelaide, Australia, fishermen Simon Lawrence and Blair Fitzgerald found themselves in a precarious situation after an angry shark began attacking their boat. The encounter, captured on a drone camera, shows the large predator as it edges closer and closer to the vessel, determined to grab a bite of the prey inside. The fishermen, not willing to be fish food, tried to frighten off the shark as it circled the boat, but it wouldn't be dissuaded. At some point during the whole incident, the shark tried to bite the boat, and even went after the motor while the men hurled profanities at it. To save themselves from its wrath, Lawrence and Fitzgerald eventually had to dump their crab catch back into the ocean, and luckily for them, the shark decided to leave and go after the newly released crabs, giving them room to escape. Swimming camels of India. This rare breed of camel, known as the Karai, were captured by a drone camera as they made their way through the shallow sea. Found in the salt marshes of Kutch district in the western state of Gujarat, India, these special camels possess an unusual swimming ability, which allows them to travel 3 kilometers across the waters to reach the mangroves where they can graze. Unfortunately, though, their natural habitats have been slowly drying up recently, and it's no thanks to the salt companies operating in the area, which have been blocking the tidal waters flowing inland. If proper structures aren't put in place, this rare breed of camels may not be around for very long. Ghost in the woods. This drone pilot was exploring a creepy part of Cannock Chase Forest in England, trying to capture some interesting footage when he accidentally stumbled upon a white figure standing perfectly still with an eerie look, only moving slightly as the drone pulled away. Considering how far this location was from civilization, and its history as one of England's most haunted woods, it was highly unlikely that this was just a child playing around in nature. Even though there is no concrete evidence that this wasn't just an elaborate prank planned by the drone pilot and his friends, there's just something creepy about the way the mysterious figure looks at the camera that will send chills down your spine. Not surprisingly, after sighting the supposed phantom, the pilot flies the drone out of the area before the story takes an even darker turn. Moose versus wolf. It's not every day that a drone captures a scene straight out of a National Geographic documentary, but this YouTuber Dan Neistat found himself at the right place and at the right time. While attempting to get some scenic shots of the northern Ontario woodlands, Neistat found a moose chilling in the river and decided to stick around for a little while. But just as he began to pull the drone away, Neistat noticed a disturbance in nearby woods as a lone wolf leapt into the water towards the moose's direction. What followed was a duel unlike anything explorers had ever caught on camera, as the two animals began duking it out, one fighting for food, the other fighting for survival. In an attempt to dissuade the wolf, the moose throws some jabs, which didn't exactly connect, before heading into deeper waters to try and drown the wolf. With each hit the moose threw at the wolf, it became even more determined to make a meal out of it, and after a few failed attempts, the wolf finally latched onto its right front leg. Without caring about the spectator watching their interaction, the moose kept trying to free itself from the wolf's grips, and would eventually succeed after a few failed attempts. As the struggle continued further, the wolf appeared to have lost some of its early momentum, giving the moose the chance to escape out of the water and into the woods, and leaving the wolf hungry and frustrated. Ancient tribes of the Amazon. Back in 2018, a drone flying over a section of the Amazon rainforest found a previously undiscovered tribe living within the thick jungle. The rare footage shows several people walking through a wide clearing, made in a patch of dense forest near the Javeri River Valley, unveiling the lifestyle of one of Amazon's uncontacted tribes. Of the few men and women spotted in the video, one was carrying a spear or pole of some kind, supposedly used in hunting and defense against wildlife, while 4 or 5 others can be seen standing near some thatched structures. As the aerial camera continued to hover over the scene, None of the people appeared to notice, and owing to their non-exposure to civilization, they would have probably thought it was a special kind of bird. Although very little is still known about this particular tribe, it is only one of the over 400 indigenous tribes currently living within the Amazon rainforest, consisting of over 1.6 million members. While some of them have been exposed to little contact with the outside world, the vast majority still maintain their Stone Age lifestyle, resisting any attempted contact with brute force and violence. The glory hole of Lake Berryessa. Back in 2017, the state of California experienced record-level rainfall following a 5-year drought, bringing back this anomaly that captivated the world's attention. The locals call it the glory hole, and prior to the 2017 event, it had been 10 years since the man-made Lake Berryessa overflowed into the unique spillway at the Monticello Dam. When the lake finally filled up enough to make it happen, though, the locals couldn't get enough of the sight, and it became quite the popular attraction. This drone shot of the spillway captured the scenery in all its glory, showcasing the stunning beauty and the slightly creepy feel it emanates. Son of the Earth. Situated in the Gobi Desert of Guizhou County, Juquan is a massive red sandstone sculpture measuring 49 feet long, 14 feet high, and 29 feet wide. Viewed from the sky, this huge monument rests on the desert sky, mimicking the feel of a sleeping baby. And according to the artist behind it, it is a cryptic message about our connection to Mother Nature and the need to protect her. The aerial view also showcases the sheer size of the sculpture, as the people standing around it look like small insects compared to the colossal baby. This one-of-a-kind art piece is the brainchild of Professor Dong Shubinf of Tsinghua University, created back in 2016 using 3D printing and engraving technology, and has become one of the most alluring spectacles on the Silk Road, attracting hundreds of tourists from far and wide. Chinese bike graveyard. Over 60,000 bikes are currently sitting in a large heap in Xiamen, a coastal city in China, with a population of over 4 million, and it takes an aerial view like this to really capture the sight. This chaotic display is a byproduct of China's evolving bike share industry, which aims to significantly declutter urban areas by allowing citizens to pick up and drop off bikes wherever they please. While this seemed to solve the major problem it was designed to address, it indirectly created a new one, with footpaths in major Chinese cities getting congested with discarded or damaged bikes. Another problem was that the supply greatly outweighed the demand, with the streets being filled with 3 times more bikes than necessary for the population. So, in a bid to clean up the city, authorities chose to discard these bikes in this designated graveyard, although it remains unclear whether they were all picked up from the same area or brought in from elsewhere. For miles and miles on end, these discarded bikes fill the whole area, sorted according to their colors, and creating a strange and creepy environment, despite being a simple landfill. Whether these bikes will eventually be repurposed or crushed to serve a whole different purpose remains to be seen. Too close for comfort. Most drone operators know that flying close to an aircraft is illegal and can attract a huge fine or serious jail term. But the operator of this particular drone must have been ignorant of this, or simply wanted to test his luck. In this 27-second video, you can clearly see the drone as it flies through the McCarran International Airport, coming dangerously close to a Frontier Airlines plane landing at the Las Vegas airport. At first, the plane can be seen approaching from a distance, coming fast towards the drone, before being seen just below the drone as it turns around. Although this incident didn't end in a disaster, things could have taken a whole different turn, leading to a major plane crash that would cost many lives. But thankfully, everyone walked away from the encounter whole, and it's uncertain if the drone operator was ever caught and punished for the risky stunt. Alienoid creature in Portugal. This mysterious footage surfaced online back in 2016, capturing a strange alienoid creature walking through the desert. According to sources, the clip supposedly originated from Portugal and features a being that resembles the cross between Bigfoot and a chupacabra. This creature, obviously unaware it was being watched, walked with a strong gait, before mysteriously vanishing into thin air, leaving the observers confused and justifiably frightened. Could this be an actual extraterrestrial being caught on camera, or just another giant hoax on the internet? Considering the lack of verifiable evidence, a timestamp, or even the exact source of the footage, it's hard to determine if this was really real, digitally altered, or an elaborate prank by a group of friends. So it's best to take this clip with a pinch of salt. Cornfield clown. Bumping into a clown in the middle of nowhere is one of the most creepy encounters anyone can have. And when Jake Newton from South Carolina decided to test his new drone, that was the last thing he expected to find. While flying over the dense forest, Jake's aerial camera spotted a figure dressed in a yellow, red, and blue striped costume, which appeared to be running from something or someone. This wild and terrifying footage was uploaded online and quickly went viral. Although just like other clown footage out there, we can't really tell whether this was an actual killer clown or just another weird guy caught playing dress-up in the middle of nowhere. Now it's time for our subscribers pick. Back in 2021, news began spreading that a man had caught something no one has ever seen before. A mythical figure the whole world has been searching for centuries. This man's drone camera captured something on the beach, but as it would later turn out, the real discovery was far from the beach. It was while flying over the Utah River that this unidentified drone operator captured what appeared to be a real-life mermaid swimming in the murky waters. Unlike most other evidence proving the existence of mermaids, this was not a grainy, low-quality video, but an actual proven recording showing the half-human, half-fish creature taking a dip in the Utah River. However, upon closer inspection, it was revealed that this was not a mythical figure as claimed, but a woman named Vivian Beck, who dressed up as a mermaid. While it wasn't immediately clear why she decided to pull such a stunt, the level of detail that went into the costume was enough to fool anyone that this was a real-life mermaid. So when the woman behind the dress was finally revealed, most were disappointed. But considering all evidence, do you think mermaids are real, or they're simply fabrications of an overactive imagination? As always, let us know what you think in the comments. Now, let's get back to the video. The American Loch Ness Monster. A drone captured this mysterious creature lurking under the Chena River in Fairbanks, Alaska, and many are saying that it could be the legendary Loch Ness Monster. Originally discovered in Scotland back in August 1933, the Loch Ness Monster has been the subject of many legendary stories and unverified sightings for many years, but this clip just be one of the most convincing. This mysterious figure covered in ice could be seen swirling below the surface, mimicking the movement of a crocodile or a serpent, without ever raising the rest of its body above the surface. Some have also mentioned how the mysterious being simply looked like ice chunks, moving together in a side-to-side motion, while others claim it was just another regular wildlife lurking and waiting for prey. The dark shadow cast underneath the surface creates a sense of wonder, although it's anyone's guess what kind of creature this might really be. Beach's whale in Iceland. Although finding a dead whale washed up on the beach is considered a loss for marine life, the spectacular sight they offer can be quite unforgettable. A good example is this small finback whale discovered on a beach just east of the town of Thorlakshofen, southwest Iceland. While scientists were never able to figure out what exactly led to the whale's death, some believed it may have died a natural death, while others claim it was probably attacked by a larger animal. But considering the age of the whale and the fact that no injuries were observed on its body, those theories seem unlikely. An impressive drone shot of the whale showcases how massive this beastly creature really is, as it towers over the beach, making everybody present appear tiny in comparison. Rescue mission. Dramatic drone footage captured the moment 4 horses were rescued by a quick-thinking paddleboarder after getting stuck in the floodwater during the 2021 UK flooding. This particular incident played out in Chester Meadows, a place that was almost completely submerged underwater at the time. While the horses could have simply ran away, the locked gate prevented their exit, prompting an urgent rescue operation. To facilitate the evacuation process, residents used a drone to first locate them in the rising waters, after which a paddleboarder named Jeff Polton volunteered to assist in opening the gate so the horses could leave. But when the key refused to work, Polton resorted to cutting the gate open using bolt cutters, a process that took 40 whole minutes. It was a race against time as the man painstakingly attempted to dislodge the gate before the horses became fully swallowed up by the water, and thankfully he managed to pry it open just before it was too late. With the gates open, the 4 horses were able to race out of the danger zone and onto dry land, and started grazing on grass almost immediately. Toxic foam on India's spiritual river. The Yamuna River, located in Delhi, is one of India's most revered spiritual rivers, but it's also one of the most polluted, and it takes a drone shot to really capture the extent of this pollution. This disturbing footage of Chhath Puja devotees taking a dip amid the cloud of foam floating on the surface went viral back in 2021 during the annual time of worship. Although it looks cool on the outside, the water is actually extremely toxic, and even previously caught fire back in 2016. Contrary to popular opinion, the frothing isn't a result of some spiritual activities, but the presence of phosphates and surfactants in untreated sewage leaking into the river. It is believed that around 155 million gallons of water is released into the river every single day, containing every pollutant you can think of, from organic waste to chemicals and detergents. But oblivious to this fact, many of the worshippers bathe in the water, some even drinking it, hoping to receive spiritual healing. Although the government has been trying to mitigate the effects of the pollution, it's highly unlikely that it'll ever stop unless proper steps are taken to curtail the flow of pollutants into this highly revered cultural site. Russian soldier surrenders to Ukrainian troops. This Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detected a visibly tired Russian invader attempting to surrender, and successfully led him to the positions of the Ukrainian military. While surveying a battlefield on the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war, the drone operator noticed the Russian soldier signaling his willingness to give himself up, and out of sympathy, decided to spare his life. Following the drone's instruction, the soldier completely disarmed and undressed himself, before following the path to one of the trenches where Ukrainian soldiers were carefully waiting for him. After making sure he didn't pose any danger to them, the Ukrainian soldiers picked up the prisoner of war and gave him water so he could regain his strength. While much details aren't available about this particular soldier, reports indicate that such an occurrence isn't uncommon on the Russia-Ukraine battlefield. However, that's not even the most disturbing drone footage obtained from this conflict zone. In another chilling footage, a battle drone can be seen dropping an improvised explosive device on a Russian soldier hiding in the trench while the battle raged on. The soldier, who appeared to be injured, quickly picked up the explosive and threw it before it exploded just inches away from him. Thanks to his quick thinking, he survived getting blown to pieces by the enemy forces. But since the video doesn't record the rest of the interaction, no one can tell whether the Russian soldier eventually survived the battle or not. Thanks to footage like this, we can catch a glimpse into the true reality of soldiers on the battlefield and the unforgiving nature of war. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.